My fellow Americans, in the last video I did, you saw me take on the fiscal cliff, the ever-looming and present danger from which we can only hope our financial overlords will protect us. If you haven't given that a watch, you should check out the little link. So why bring up the fiscal cliff again? Well, some people keep pointing to the capital gains tax and believe that the way we approach this tax and were we to change it might help get the economy moving. So hold on tight, I'm giving you my take on the capital gains tax. Now, before we dive too deeply into this, it's important that we highlight the capital gains tax is not just for the stock market. It is a tax placed on the profit of the sale of goods such as stocks, real estate, and even sports memorabilia. Don't get too excited. Your granddaddy's baseball card collection won't be sending you to college anytime soon. The premise is very simple, really. If you spend $200,000 on, say, stocks, and then turn around and sell them for $500,000, you are then taxed on the $300,000 profit at a 15% rate. Now, unless Congress acts quickly and in the best interests of our financial royalty, that tax rate will climb to 20%. Can you imagine the effect that would have on our economy? All of those job creators will have to pay 5% more in taxes. Depression, here we come. Well, sure, they've never actually hired anyone. I mean, they've fired a lot of people, but they've never actually hired anyone. Now, there's some people out there whom I refer to as communist enemies of the state that believe that capital gains tax rate should be jacked up even higher, as high as 35%. Now listen, just because these people didn't do any actual physical labor for their money doesn't mean we should remove from them the privileged entitlement of a lower tax rate. Who cares if a doctor or an architect have to pay the full 35% tax rate on anything over $250,000? These people aren't job creators. It's the people trading virtual wealth on Wall Street who are the real motivators of this economy. And with that, let's get to a rare moment of honesty. And I hope you're sitting down for this one because it's going to be a bit of a long one. You see, if we're going to violate the principles of the Constitution by taxing people's income, then we should at least do it fairly. The basis of your tax rate should not be on how the income is achieved, but on the income itself. It's not entirely fair that people who buy and sell other material goods are held to a different set of rules. A distributor of, say, kitchen ovens first has to buy those ovens from a manufacturer and then sell them out to the people. But they are taxed on all of the profit made on that. Sure, they can write off the initial expense of having to buy the ovens, but it's not done as a dollar-for-dollar match like the capital gains tax is. Instead, this distributor needs to keep spending money to get into another bracket of write-off. Also at issue is the rate of the capital gains tax as compared to the everyday American plebeian taxpayer. The method by which the income is achieved should not entitle anyone to a lower or a higher tax rate. That's right, Robin Hood can suck it. If people want to tax the wealthy at a higher rate, there needs to be logical reasoning behind it. Just because somebody has wealth does not entitle anyone else to take it away from them. Justifying a higher tax rate may be difficult, but it is not impossible. One could start by highlighting the fact that the wealthy would not be that way were it not for their workers. Workers who need roads to get to work. Workers who need healthcare programs so that they are healthy enough to work. Workers who need education so that they and future generations can work. If the rich want this army of workers to do all the, work for them, then they need to be willing to fork over the extra cash to ensure that workers are available and able to do the work. Of course, this is all just a theory, and in no way am I advocating that any sense of logic be applied to the ruling and governing of our financial noble class. And this is, after all, just a taste of the capital gains tax system, but it should be enough to give you a rough idea. Always be sure to offer some of your own insights in the comments below. Video responses are always welcome, and liking, sharing, and subscribing is always highly appreciated. I'm Mahoney, that's my take. What's yours?